Ethan had been searching for an affordable place to live in Abuja for 6 months. 6 exhausting, soul-crushing months of inspecting nice apartments that were basically overpriced boxes, where landlords demanded 2 years rent up front, plus agency fee, plus caution fee, plus agreement fee, plus inspection fee, plus whatever other creative name they invented for extortion. Ethan was a young graphic designer, barely earning 150,000 Nigerian nairas monthly. His options were simple and terrible. Share a tiny room with 3 strangers in Warri, Delta State, or commute hours daily from the outskirts of Nasarawa. Neither sounded like life. So when he saw an advertisement on Facebook at 2 a.m. on a restless Tuesday night, his heart nearly stopped. Free 2-bedroom apartment, Gwarimpa, Abuja. Professional looking for responsible tenant. No rent for 6 months. Free Wi-Fi, free cable TV, fully furnished. Only requirement, live alone and be available to house sit. Serious inquiries only. Ethan read it 3 times. Nothing in Gwarimpa was free. Nothing in Abuja was free. Nothing in Nigeria was free, not even pure water. But desperation makes people do foolish things. He messaged. Within 5 minutes, a reply came from Mr. Victor Nwosu. Good evening. Are you still interested? Can you come tomorrow by 5 p.m. to view it? Ethan typed back with trembling fingers. Yes, sir. I'm very interested. The address arrived immediately. Plot 18 Crescent Road, Gwarimpa, Abuja. That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. He spent hours googling scam stories, ritual killings, organ harvesting, 419 schemes, and free apartment traps. But the promise of a free 2-bedroom in Gwarimpa kept pulling him back. What if it's real? What if this is my breakthrough? The apartment that looked too perfect. The next evening, Ethan arrived 30 minutes early, heart pounding. The building looked exactly like the photos. Cream and brown paint, clean compound, generator house humming quietly. A security guard sat by the gate, barely looking up from his phone. Good evening, Ethan greeted. I'm here to see Mr. Victor. Second floor, the guard muttered, without eye contact. Ethan noticed something strange. The guard's voice carried a heavy sadness, like a warning wrapped in exhaustion. Still, Ethan shook it off and went upstairs. Mr. Victor was waiting. He was tall, well-dressed, in his 50s, with graying hair and a warm smile that didn't reach his eyes. Ethan, he said, shaking his hand. Welcome. Come inside. And the apartment. It was stunning. Spotless tiles. Modern furniture. A huge flat-screen TV. A working refrigerator. Microwave. Kettle. 2 spacious bedrooms with air conditioners. A Wi-Fi router blinked green in the corner. It was perfect. Too perfect. So, Ethan asked carefully, why exactly is this free? Mr. Victor smiled that strange smile again. I travel often for business, he said. I need someone to keep the place occupied. Maintain it. Think of it as house sitting. You live here rent-free for 6 months. And after 6 months? Ethan asked. We renegotiate. Maybe you pay something small. Like 200,000 Nigerian nairas yearly. That was not affordable. That was impossible to believe affordable. Ethan's instinct screamed. What's the catch? He asked. No catch, Mr. Victor said smoothly. Just rules. He counted them calmly. You must live alone. No visitors staying overnight. You must be here every night. And, he paused, you must not enter the 3rd bedroom. It's locked. My personal storage. Red flag number 1. But Ethan's desperation was louder than his common sense. That's all? Ethan asked. That's all. Ethan looked around again, at the comfort, the space, the freedom from suffering. When can I move in? He heard himself say. Mr. Victor's smile widened. Tomorrow, if you want. Nothing day free for Niger. Ethan moved in 3 days later on a Saturday afternoon. He brought his few belongings in 2 bags and a backpack. As he unpacked, he couldn't stop grinning. Free rent. Free Wi-Fi. Free TV. In Guarimpa. He called his friend Caleb. "Guy, I don't hammer," Ethan said excitedly. "Free apartment for Guarimpa. 2-bedroom. There was a pause. "Free." Caleb repeated slowly. "Bro, nothing dey free for Niger. Wetin be the catch?" "No catch. The man just dey travel. I just dey house sit." Caleb didn't sound convinced. "Just be careful," he warned. "You know how it dey be. Today them give you free house, tomorrow them go say no blood money them take buy am." Ethan laughed. "Abeg stop that talk. Make I enjoy my blessing in peace." He hung up and continued unpacking. That evening, he cooked noodles and egg, ate while watching a movie on the massive TV, feeling like he had finally made it. The locked room. Around 11 p.m., Ethan decided to explore properly. He walked through the apartment, checking cupboards, bathrooms, admiring everything. Then he stood in front of the 3rd bedroom. Solid white door. Heavy padlock. Ethan pressed his ear against it. Silence. Not peaceful silence. Empty silence. Like a void. A chill ran down his spine despite the warm Abuja night. "It's just storage," he told himself. "Mind your business." He went to bed, leaving his bedroom door slightly open. The apartment was quiet except for the hum of AC and distant traffic. Ethan fell asleep quickly. He didn't hear the footsteps. Soft. Deliberate. Coming from the direction of the locked room, down the hallway, stopping just outside his bedroom door. Standing there. Watching. Ethan woke suddenly, fully alert, without knowing why. His digital clock glowed green. His skin prickled. He had that overwhelming sensation. He was not alone. He turned on the lamp. Nothing. He walked to the hallway. Nothing. But when he turned back, something made his blood run cold. The locked 3rd bedroom door. The one he knew was firmly shut. Was now slightly ajar, just an inch. Darkness beyond. And from that darkness, Ethan swore he heard breathing. Slow. Steady. Patient. Ethan didn't sleep again. At 6 a.m., when daylight came, he checked the 3rd bedroom. It was closed. Padlock in place. Exactly as before. Cold. Solid. Locked. Had he imagined it? He decided to forget it. Free apartment in Guarimpa. He wasn't going to ruin it by being paranoid. The knocking begins, 2:47 a.m. That night, Ethan closed his bedroom door and even braced a chair against it. Sleep came easier. Then, at exactly 2:47 a.m. Tap. 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 Soft. Polite. Almost gentle. Coming from the 3rd bedroom. Ethan's eyes snapped open. Tap. 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 Too rhythmic to be pipes. Too intentional. Then it stopped. Silence rushed back like water filling an empty space. His hands shaking, Ethan texted Caleb. "Guy, something dey happen for this house." No reply. Caleb was asleep. Ethan lay still, straining his ears. Then he heard it. Footsteps in the hallway. Slow. Heavy. Deliberate. Walking from the locked room toward Ethan's door. The steps stopped right outside his door. Ethan couldn't breathe. The handle turned slowly. But the chair held. A pause. Then the footsteps retreated, back toward the locked room. A door opened. Hinges creaked. Then a soft click. Silence. Ethan sat up until sunrise, tears streaming down his face. Stop asking questions. In the morning, Ethan called Mr. Victor. "Good morning, sir." Ethan's voice was broken from lack of sleep. "I wanted to ask about the 3rd bedroom. A pause. What about it? I've been hearing sounds. Knocking. Footsteps. Sir, is someone else staying there? Another pause, longer this time. What kind of sounds? Sir, is there someone else in the apartment? You said I would leave alone. Mr. Victor's voice sharpened. The room is locked. You said you wouldn't bother with it. Are you having trouble following simple instructions, Ethan? Ethan swallowed. No sir, The apartment is free. The Wi-Fi is free. The electricity is free. All I asked was that you don't concern yourself with that room. Ethan tried again, but sir. Stop asking questions. Old buildings make sounds. Abuja makes sounds. If you can't handle it, you're free to leave. Then, coldly. I have 10 other people waiting for this opportunity. The line went dead. Ethan stared at his phone. A sick feeling spread through his stomach. The apartment wouldn't let him leave. Ethan made a decision: he would stay in the apartment during the day, but sleep elsewhere at night, until he figured things out. That evening around 6 p.m., he packed a small bag and walked toward the door. The door opened fine. But the moment he stepped to the threshold, something hit him. A wave of fear so intense, so unnatural, his legs refused to move. Not fear of staying. Fear of leaving. He tried again. His feet felt rooted. Like the apartment itself had hands on his ankles. After 15 minutes of trembling, sweating struggle, Ethan gave up and went back inside. His heart pounding. He realized the truth. He was trapped. Not by chains. But by something unseen. The voice behind the door. That night, Ethan sat in the living room with every light on. At 3 a.m., it was always close to 3 a.m., the knocking returned. Tap. 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 But this time, a faint muffled voice came through the locked room. Please. Ethan froze. Please, help me. A woman's voice. Young. Terrified. Weak. Who be that? Ethan shouted, voice cracking. Wetin you want? I can't. I can't breathe, please. The voice was coming from inside. Against every instinct, Ethan stood and walked down the hallway. Who are you? He whispered. What are you doing inside there? He locked me in here, the voice said. He locked me, please. Then the voice faded. Replaced by a sound that made Ethan's soul turn to ice. Scratching. Desperate scratching. Like fingernails clawing wood from the inside. Oh God, Ethan staggered back. Then his phone rang. Mr. Victor. Ethan answered with shaking hands. Mr. Victor spoke calmly, too calmly. I know you heard her. Ethan choked. What did you put in that room? Nothing is inside that room, Mr. Victor said. But some things don't leave. They stay. They wait. They need companionship. Ethan started screaming, I'm leaving now. You can't leave, Mr. Victor replied. Matter of fact, haven't you tried? The apartment won't let you. Not until it gets what it wants. Ethan's body went weak. Mr. Victor continued. It wants 6 months. That's the agreement. Free rent for 6 months. The previous tenant agreed to. But she tried to leave after 3 weeks. The apartment didn't like that. It kept her. And when we finally opened that room. He paused. Let's just say the house collected what it was owed. Scratching grew louder. Hungrier. Mr. Victor's final words came like a death sentence. If you stay the full 6 months and follow the rules, you'll walk away. But if you try to leave early, the house will take its payment. The line went dead. Ethan slid down the wall, staring at the locked door. Understanding hit him with horrifying clarity. The apartment wasn't free. He was the payment. The guard finally speaks, day 23. Days became numbers to Ethan. He learned the apartment's rhythm. Knocking, 2:47 a.m. Footsteps, 3:15 a.m. Scratching, until 4 a.m. During the day, everything seemed normal. Wi-Fi worked. TV worked. AC worked. As if the apartment kept its end of the bargain, comfort in exchange for his life force. But Ethan was withering. He lost weight. Developed permanent dark circles. Hands trembling. Appetite gone. His clients fired him for missed deadlines. His family thought he was avoiding them. He became alone. Except he wasn't. The apartment was always there, watching, feeding. On day 23, he approached the security guard downstairs. The man's name tag read Ibrahim. "How long you don't work here?" Ethan asked. 5 years, Ibrahim replied. "I's tired." "You don't see other people live for that apartment before?" Ibrahim stared at him for a long time, then spoke quietly. "I don't see 7. Ethan's stomach dropped. What happened to them? The first 3 complete 6 months. They come out alive, but no be normal again. 1 enter psychiatric hospital. 1 they drink every day like say he dey run from memory. The 3rd relocate go Port Harcourt sharp, say he no fit stay Nigeria again. And the other 4? Ethan whispered. Ibrahim looked toward the 2nd floor, face grim. Them try run before 6 months finish. Mr. Victor go come with police, family, locksmith, them go break the 3rd bedroom door open. He didn't finish. He didn't need to. Ethan's voice cracked. Why you no tell me before? You for believe me? Ibrahim asked sadly. Not only when person enter, he go understand. And by then, he done late. Ibrahim reached into his pocket and brought out a small leather pouch. My grandmother from Kano give me this. He no go stop the feeding, but he go slow and small. So you fit survive with your mind still intact. He pressed it into Ethan's trembling hand. Wear 'em. No remove 'em. And no try run. The ones we run, the house no just kill them. He do worse. Talking to the woman, day 45. Ethan wore the pouch every day. He didn't know whether it worked or was just comfort, but he felt slightly stronger. And then he started doing something dangerous. He started talking to the woman behind the door. At first, there was no response. Just scratching. Then one night, during the 3 a.m. hour, Ethan tried again. What's your name? The scratching stopped. Silence. Then, faint like breath. Naomi. Ethan's heart pounded. How long you done dey inside there? I don't remember, Naomi whispered. Time no exist here. Only hunger. This house takes from you, strength, hope, mind, life. But he no let me go. It keep me here forever. Hungry forever. Scratching forever. Then she said something that broke Ethan. Somebody must stay. If everybody leaves, the house go collapse. And if it collapse, all of us wey swallow, go scatter into the world like disease. And Mr. Victor knows, she said. That's why the deal sweet. That's why it's a trap. Mr. Victor's confession, day 89. On day 89, Mr. Victor came to inspect the apartment. He stood in the living room, looking satisfied, like someone checking a business. You're looking thin, he observed. But you're still here. That's good. Better than the last one. Ethan stared at him with hollow eyes. You know what this house does. You know people suffer. Yet you keep bringing people. Mr. Victor's face didn't change. You think say I get choice. Then, for the first time, Ethan saw exhaustion in Mr. Victor's eyes. My father built this house 35 years ago, Mr. Victor began. He used ritual money. Everything was fine, until the payment time came. The payments no be money. The house must always have someone inside. If the house stays empty for more than 1 week, everybody connected to it starts dying slowly. Builder. Owner. Even people who only visited. He said his father once tried running away to Abuja and later to Lagos Island and beyond. Within days, family members began collapsing. They returned. And since then, Mr. Victor said, they kept the course running by bringing tenants. I don't like this arrangement, he said quietly. But either I continue, or my children die. He stood up and looked at Ethan. You have 3 more months. Follow the rules. Survive. Then you walk free, and I find another person. Ethan asked one question. What can destroy the house? Mr. Victor smiled sadly. Everything. He explained the real price. Someone would have to enter that room willingly and die completely, no spirit, no haunting, no return, so the house would feed until it burst and collapse from inside. Complete sacrifice, he said. Then he left. The choice, day 167. Ethan reached day 167. 17 days left. He could survive. Walk away. Let another person take his place. Let the cycle continue. But one night at 3 a.m., Ethan stood in front of the locked door. Naomi, he called softly. The scratching stopped. If I find the key, and I enter there with you, if we both agree to die to destroy the house, do you think it will work? Long silence. Then Naomi whispered. I don't try everything alone. Maybe, if we be 2. But we go die completely, she warned. No afterlife. Nothing. Ethan thought about the people before him. The people after him. The endless cycle of free things that cost lives. Then he made his decision. How I go live as broken man, he whispered, knowing say my survival is another person's suffering. If the only way is to give everything, then make I give everything. The key, day 170. At midnight, Ethan went downstairs. Ibrahim. I need the key. Ibrahim's face went pale. No. You get only 16 days left. Just endure more. Ethan's voice was steady now. And how many more people after me? How many more 6-month sentences? How many more people go scratch for darkness forever? Ibrahim trembled, then pulled out a small brass key on a cord. He placed it in Ethan's palm. My grandmother say if anybody ever willing to pay this price, if it work. But she also say no sane person go do am. Ethan smiled sadly. Maybe I don't craze. Or maybe I just finally understand, nothing day free. He turned to go. Warn everybody, he said. Make nobody day inside the building. This thing go finish tonight. 2:47 a.m., the door opens. At 2:47 a.m., Ethan stood before the locked door. Knocking had already started. Tap. 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 Naomi, Ethan said. I dey come inside. We go end am together. You still get time to change your mind, Naomi whispered. Survival no believing, Ethan replied. Not when you know say your survival is another person's prison. He inserted the key. The padlock clicked. He removed it and dropped it with a heavy thud. For everybody this house has swallowed, he whispered. For everybody that will suffer if it continues. He opened the door. Darkness poured out like liquid night. Cold. Hungry. Ancient. Ethan stepped inside. The collapse, 6:47 a.m. At 6:47 a.m., Ibrahim heard a sound outside. A deep groan, like the earth itself was crying. The building shuddered. Cracks spread across the walls like veins. Tenants screamed and ran out as the structure began collapsing, slowly, deliberately, like something exhaling after holding its breath too long. Mr. Victor arrived just in time to watch the cursed building fold into rubble. When the dust settled. Silence. Complete silence. No scratching. No knocking. No hungry presence. Just peace. In the rubble, inside what used to be the 3rd bedroom, they found 2 bodies. Ethan and Naomi, hands clasped, faces peaceful. Ibrahim wept. Mr. Victor stared at the ruins, something breaking inside his chest, maybe relief, maybe guilt, maybe both. For the first time in 35 years, he whispered, "It's over." 6 months later. 6 months later, a memorial stood where the building used to be. Simple. Quiet. Respectful. A name carved in stone. Ethan Marshall. Mr. Victor later sold the land with one condition. It must never be built on again. It became a small park. Children played there. And people who passed the memorial often felt something strange. Not fear. Not dread. But a quiet reminder. Moral lessons. Nothing is truly free. Every gift has a cost, sometimes financial, sometimes emotional, sometimes spiritual. Desperation makes us ignore red flags. When we're desperate, we accept terms we normally wouldn't and walk into traps we could have avoided. If something is too good to be true, it usually is. Free rent in expensive areas, easy money offers, or deals that demand strange rules, always investigate deeply. Some problems continue because everyone chooses survival over ending the cycle. Evil repeats itself when people keep saying, "Let me just escape first." True freedom sometimes requires sacrifice. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more African story.